God damn, I love this show. I had an entire script written out talking about Mr. Beast, talking about Socko Man, talking about how this show is so much better than what everything in media is nowadays, but that's not the essence of why I like this show. I want this video to be a love letter to a show that has had a profound impact on me, and I want you to watch this show. So let me throw that shit in the garbage and try and convince you.
Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right there where you left it, lying upside down. When you finally find it, you'll see how it's faded. The underside is lighter when you turn it around.
The world of Adventure Time is sprawling, vast, and full of life. Every corner of this world has its own creatures, scenery, stories, and more. The show is aptly named, as the Land of Ooo is a place in which you will never run out of new experiences, excitement, and adventure. Anything is possible in the Land of Ooo. The show sets itself up with rules that give it such a massive sandbox to play in. Pendleton Ward is a lone toddler on a beach, and he's eating sand by the handfuls. Why did I say that? The show isn't bound by the rules of our reality or more realistic shows. You can go anywhere, you can do anything, create any creature, and it doesn't seem weird. This allows you to tell these incredible creative stories, and the show does not fall short of exploring that. Before each individual episode, for the most part, you have no idea what to expect. Much like Finn and Jake, who go in with no specific expectations. You feel like you're discovering these things alongside with them. This show is able to channel that childlike wonder. And the way in which Adventure Time characters interact with these scenarios also allows you to explore emotions and intent in a way that wouldn't be possible otherwise. At one point, Finn becomes enamored with relationships and chemistry, likely fueled by his own feelings and the fact that he's growing up. And let me show you how this show's premise allows you to explore this in a very interesting way. Finn is given a magic bag of tiny replicas of himself as well as the people he loves. Jake is immediately skeptical of this and thinks they should leave it alone.
Maybe it's black magic. Maybe we shouldn't mess with them.
But Finn's curiosity gets the better of him. Initially, he just starts off observing them, but then eventually starts toying with their lives, pushing them in cruel directions, all for the sake of fulfilling his own dark fantasies and exerting control that he wished he had over his own life. This all comes to a head, and Jake says,
"This is messed up, dude. You crossed the line from weird curiosity into some dark, messed up stuff.
I know!
The destruction, the depravity, the wrongness of it all."
Damn, Finn is a pretty shitty person. Well, he isn't. Sometimes. He's complex. I want to start off by not acknowledging the main characters, but acknowledging the side characters and even background characters. Every character is so rich and unique. They're not just there to fill space. They may just be on screen for just a few minutes at a time or even just a few seconds.
Remember me!
But they're just crammed full of personality, filled to the brim.
I grew these hydroponically, and I can actually play really good.
You could take any character in this show and create an entire spin-off series based on them, and it would still be interesting. Man, when even your side characters are this strong, then it makes your show not feel like a show, but it feels like an entire world full of life. Now let's get back to the main characters. Everyone is just so compelling, complex, and nuanced. No one is entirely good or bad. Everyone has flaws. It's just like real life, where nobody's perfect except me. Everyone's human except Jake. He's a dog, and I guess Peebee's made of bubblegum. She herself is a brilliant scientist, but also a control freak. She spies on Candy citizens because she's paranoid of losing what she loves. These characters have so many emotions and motives, and even in their worst actions, you can understand why they're doing it. And on top of each individual character's arc, they also have these incredible relationships between them. Jake and Finn have to be one of, if not the best duo created in animation or media in general. They play off each other perfectly. They have such strong contrasting personalities. Finn's always the one who wants to hold the pen, he wants to take the action, and he wants to be the hero. Jake is laid back and easygoing. He doesn't need to be in control, and he knows life has a way of figuring itself out. But even though they are polar opposites, you know that they're bound together by their unconditional love for one another, and regardless, at the end of the day, they'll have each other's back. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how impossible a situation looks, they'll always have each other. And when they have each other, they can get through anything. And they often have to stand together in face of the antagonist. You have a bunch of big bads, but they aren't all fueled by the same desires. They don't all necessarily want the same thing.
To get stuff from me, you have to beat me in a musical battle.
What wears a dark suit is completely evil and is about to suck out all your souls.
Your mama?
That's right. I'm your mama.
And even sometimes characters you may love may serve as the antagonist for an episode. You may see someone become warped by their desires and worldview and by their own selfishness, which ultimately leads them to become a villain. Of course, Ice King is set up to be kind of the overall reoccurring villain, but it's odd that even before you really know anything about him, you can tell he's not all evil. He's someone who wants friends, who wants companionship, who wants to be around other people, and who wants to be liked. But on one hand, you may have a sympathetic villain, and on the other hand, you got him. He does not want to take over the world. He's not operating for his own personal gain. He operates for one singular motive: to eradicate all life on Earth. He doesn't as much come off as a villain as he does an intimidating force of nature. His presence is very strong. Every time he's on screen, the entire vibe of the show changes.
You are alone, child. There is only darkness for you, and only death for your people.
Usually the show feels whimsical, silly, with stakes, but ones that you feel the heroes can overcome. Then sometimes just Finn, the 13-year-old hero who adventures for fun, versus an ancient being set on destroying the entirety of the world for no clear reason. Nuclear bomb versus crying baby. The humor in this show is pretty consistently good too. I mean, sometimes it's epic, random 2010s humor, but then other times you get this.
We're not even lost. I just gotta stretch up past these trees and see where we're at. Dang, it's all misty. It's kinda nice up here, though.
Or this.
Is she awake?
Well, if she's awake, she can definitely hear you talking.
I'm whispering.
Well, now we're both quietly screaming.
I can hear both of you.
Disguise yourself, fool!
Dude, I think she sees us.
Or sometimes you get something like,
Gunter, why did you goont my fry? I goonted them, and they were mine.
and you say,
Gunter, do you even
what the f? And don't get me wrong, this isn't just a funny kids cartoon with adventure. No, there's a point to all of this. With this vast array of characters, everyone has their own faults, everyone has their own character arcs, everyone must learn something, change, and grow better. And in how these characters mature, grow, and overcome adversity, there's a lot that we can take away too. On top of it all, it's endearing to see that the way these characters, in the face of impossible situations, they stay together, they don't give up, and they see it through, because it's all just part of the adventure.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please. Come along with me to a cliff under a tree, where we can gaze upon the water as it never